So the CSGO market has been very popular during the last few months and years, and the reason why you're here is probably because you want to take advantage of that. So let's get right into it. You want to find a good investment and don't really know what to look out for? Well, I'm gonna show you some tips on how to find some good investments. Finding a good investment is obviously very difficult, and the success of investments are often very unpredictable. However, it's possible to find some signs on how to recognize the potential in a skin. So first, we will be looking at the time to invest. The CSGO economy is known for having some dips throughout the year where all skin prices tend to go down. The first one is the so-called operation dip. This is a dip and a phase where people sell a lot of their items. However, it can also happen when there isn't even an operation around. So yeah, it can also just happen if a lot of people are speculating on a new operation that's about to drop. But why? They sell their skins in order to get new skins from the operation and to afford the operation pass. This is a very good time to invest, as with some patience it's very easy to make some profit, because they don't really have to be more popular, the items you're investing in, or anything like that. It's just because they're at such a low price that they're gonna recover from those, and then you can easily just make a few bucks off of that. And then there's also a very similar thing, which is the next dip. It's the so-called summer dip. It's basically the same thing. People sell their skins for various reasons, I guess, maybe for holidays, whatever. And yeah, it's also a really good time to invest. And now let's go and have a look at the item's attributes that you want to look out for. The first thing that can be very fatal to skin prices is the weapon's usefulness in the game. OP weapons tend to have higher prices. For example, the Deagle has a much higher price compared to the R8, even though the R8 Fade I think looks somewhat decent, and yet it's still at only 10 bucks, so yeah. It's very important on how useful it is, how desired the weapon itself is. So yeah, that's one thing. And also what you want to remember is that OP weapons tend to get nerfed from time to time, which will always cause a drop in skin prices. However, if the weapon is gonna get buffed, then it's gonna have the opposite effect, so the prices are gonna increase. So yeah, as you know, the M4A1S has been super overpowered for quite a while now, and it's been dominating the M4A4. Like, there were pretty much no people out there playing the A4 before the nerfs, and yeah, so that was something that you could have seen coming, and therefore you could have invested in M4A4 skins. I actually had some, but I, for some reason, sold them. Yeah. And now they're like 3 times the price. So yeah, you can also kind of bet on those changes, on balance changes. However, they're only like once or twice a year, so you gotta be really patient with that one. And yeah, so the A1S we know has been nerfed, and that has led to a huge drop in A1S prices, something like 25 to 30%, and the spike in the A4 prices by sometimes more than 100, 200 or 300%. So yeah, those changes can also be very important. After that, we're gonna have a look at the rarity and the supply. It's very important for you to know that if a skin is limited, but like every single player that plays CSGO is gonna get one for free, then it's not rare, even though it was limited. You really have to think about the difference between those two things. And yeah, then with that comes the supply. So if something is limited, it's good looking and stuff, but if there are 5 million skins in existence, then it's gonna take a long time for the prices to change, because there's just always gonna be new ones on the market, which won't really lead to an increase in the price. So make sure that the skins you're trying to invest in aren't just out there in millions. The next one is optional, however very important at the same time: design and the looks of a skin. It's very important that it's looking good in most players' eyes. Not too many people will be buying some ugly skins for no reason, so this point is kind of important. This next one is its usefulness, aka can it be used in trade-ups? Can you get some really good skins one rarity above? Because if yes, then this is gonna set a floor price, because the people that are gonna do trade-ups, etc., in order to gain profit, and therefore they're gonna buy him, and there's gonna be a floor price. However, doing this in like big numbers is gonna lead to another So doing this in big numbers is gonna lead to another spike until it's not profitable anymore. The next point on the list is exclusiveness, as for example knives. They're very exclusive because knives, they're not just the skin, they're like basically new knives and you don't have to buy them, for example. You can always have a knife on any team, you don't have to buy them. So yeah, they're a thing on their own. They're also very expensive in general. There's no cheaper knife out there. There's no knife out there that's going for less than $50 on third-party marketplaces, and yeah, or barely any. And they also in short term don't have a lot of a price change. However, in the long term, some high tier skins do have changes in price. For example, a Karambit Doppler went for around $650 on the Steam market in January. However, at the moment of recording, it's $950, which is quite an increase, to be honest. So these are the main criteria, and I'm gonna show you how to decide and settle on an investment. So there are two kinds of stocks and investments. The first one is a so-called penny stock. Those are investments with very low prices per piece. Therefore, you're just betting on small changes in price, of which you would be taking benefit and advantage because you have a big number of supply. And on the other side, there's the normal investments where you just buy one item that's at a decently high price and you're just hoping for a big increase. And those are the two kinds of investments you'll look for. And now it's time for me to show you how to decide. This is a method that's used in real economy by businesses to settle for a decision. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take every single criteria and match it with a skin or multiple skins you're considering buying. And then you will rate the criteria based on its importance. So maybe there are like 5 criteria you think are, yeah, well, they're very similar and I think they're all equally important. And then you can just put them there. And then you might find yourself rating them with a difference of 1 or 2 points. And this can be very helpful. And this will lead to a smaller and this will lead to a smaller selection, which can be very useful. And then you're gonna go and pick the most important one, the one that you rated the best, and focus on that. And or you will go and find other items that also have that criteria, and then you're just gonna take them. And yeah, this can sometimes be very useful because sometimes if you assign numbers to multiple similar things, you'll realize that it's not that difficult of a decision actually. Not as you thought it was. And yeah, I hope this helped you. Feel free to ask questions in the comment section. I will reply to them. And yeah, see you next time.